Tonight on CTV News.
We update you on an ASCSU proposal to change the name of Ram Walk to commemorate a lost student.
CSU students protest a new CSU animal processing plant.
Then later, downtown comes back from the dead in an annual zombie crawl.
All that and more now on CTV News.
Welcome to CTV News. I'm Marlo Lundak.
And I'm Amelia, Casteneda, bringing you the latest in CSU and Fort Collins news. Two cars collided last night at around 7:15 p.m. at the intersection of Prospect and Shields. At least one passenger was injured, according to a witness. One of the parties involved in the accident commented on the response time, saying, "There were like 5 cars that stopped. There were immediately people tapping on the window saying, 'Are you okay?' Within seconds, there was an ambulance." The accident has since been cleaned up, and we'd like to remind everyone to drive safe this Halloween weekend.
The Associated Students of Colorado State University honored former CSU student at Wednesday's meeting. The student government stood in a moment of silence at the beginning of their weekly meeting to remember Savannah McNeely, the student and former Rocky Mountain student media member who was shot and killed along with 2 others last Thursday morning. At the meeting, Speaker of the Senate Isabel Brown recognized Senator William Henshaw, who recommended to the university that they rename the new Ram Walk located outside of the stadium to the McNeely Ram Walk, as McNeely played a major part in the organization of that new tradition. The Silva Impeachment Committee also informed the rest of government that they will begin impeachment hearings and the presenting of evidence in the coming weeks. You can stay updated on the Silva impeachment here on CTV and at collegian.com.
Cans around the oval is complete and the tallies are in. This year we collected a grand total of 324,000 pounds of food, which is around the same amount as last year. This is approximately 275,000 meals. The food will go to local agencies to be inspected and then distributed in different ways, such as the Food Link and the Larimore County Food Bank's Fresh Food Pantry.
The world's largest leading global food company, JBS USA, gave the College of Agricultural Sciences a substantial gift earlier this year to help the department create a state-of-the-art facility to help students practice food safety, meat science, and animal handling, giving them a more hands-on experience. Today, a small group of CSU students representing ROAR, Ram Organizers for Animal Rights, were protesting outside of the Animal Sciences building on the Montfort Quad. The CEO of JBS, Josley Batista, was recently arrested for the bribery of politicians and health inspectors to gain partners and cut health and safety codes. The group was protesting the transparency of JBS Global and their motive behind wanting to help CSU create this new on-campus facility.
Guiding principles is integrity, and we feel like JBS is not showing that they care to have integrity or transparency. And so we think that this partnership between CSU and JBS is really going to hurt our reputation for integrity. So today we're just here asking, can we hold on to both?
For more information about the new facility, you can visit www.colostate.edu.
So Marlo, what do you think about this weather?
You know, I'm not a huge fan. It was 80 degrees yesterday. I was sweating on the way to class, and then today it was 30 and snowing. I wasn't ready for it. What about you?
I feel like at this point I have to carry a backpack full of winter clothes, maybe a raincoat, maybe some sandals. This weather's just unpredictable at this point.
You just got to be ready for everything.
Right. For more information on what this chilly weather has in store for us, stay tuned for our weatherman Michelangelo Bustamante. Then after that, Tyler Patterson updates you on the volleyball game happening now in Moby Arena.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
Good evening, Rams. I'm your weather anchor, Michelangelo Bustamante. As Marlo was saying earlier, since yesterday, temperatures have dropped over 40 degrees. So let's get right down to the forecast. Today, currently, temperatures are sitting at 36 degrees with winds at 14 miles an hour, and the sunset was at 6:04. So right now, I was just walking around campus earlier, and it is bone-chillingly cold. So let's go ahead and take a look at tomorrow's forecast. Right now, or tomorrow actually, the temperature is going to be 46 degrees, 29 is the low, so it's still going to be cold at night, but during the day it should warm up a little bit, warmer than it was today anyways. It's going to be sunny but chilly, winds 10 miles an hour out of the northeast, so it's still going to be windy, it's still going to feel pretty cold, and your sunset's going to be at 6:02. All right, so tomorrow across the state, temperatures are significantly cooler than they have been over the past couple of days. Up and down the Front Range, we have temperatures in the mid-40s. So 46 in Fort Collins, 44 in Denver, 43 in the Springs, and 48 in Pueblo. Up in Sterling, we have temperatures at 46 degrees tomorrow, 41 is going to be the high in Lyman, 58 in Burlington, and 49 in Lamar. In Craig, it's going to be 48 degrees, 43 in Vail, 53 Gunnison, 47 Telluride, and 51 in Alamosa. And tomorrow, the warmest place in the state of Colorado is going to be Grand Junction. It's 60 degrees. So the 5-day forecast here in Fort Collins, as I said earlier, it's going to be 46 degrees in Fort Collins tomorrow with a low of 29. Then on Saturday, it's going to be 56 degrees with a low of 36. Sunday is going to warm up, so it's going to be 68 degrees. Throughout the weekend, it's going to be warming up, so 68 on Sunday, 44 on Monday, and on 44 on Tuesday as well. So as we start the school week, it shouldn't be wet at all, but we should have cooler temperatures. All right, so with all that snow that's been falling up in the high country, I figured we should take a look into the ski resort of the week. So this week it's going to be A-Basin or Arapahoe Basin. Temperatures are going to be 35 degrees with a low of 27. I think it's going to be a perfect day for skiing. It's going to be a bluebird day. Winds at 14 miles an hour. Absolutely perfect skiing conditions. All right, now for the forecast for the big game against Air Force this weekend here in Fort Collins at CSU Stadium. It's going to be 51 degrees with winds 13 miles an hour. Those winds may have an effect on the game, especially if it's going to be a close one. It's going to be cloudy, but otherwise, though, it should be dry, and we should have relatively good weather for the game. All right, so Tyler, the Rams are coming off a big win against New Mexico last week, but so is Air Force. So let's see here. We're technically favored to win this game, but anytime you play, a 10-point favorite, but anytime you play one of those service academies, they're always really tricky, especially with Air Force's option game. How do you think we're going to do?
Oh, I think CSU is going to have to put up at least 30 points in this game because Air Force is coming in. They're averaging 37 points per game. CSU is averaging 34, so I think it's going to be a shootout. Yeah. But it's important for CSU to take advantage of all their possessions because Air Force will run the ball out on the Rams.
It's tough. It's tough to cover that option. Yeah. It's very tough. Let's see here. So what are some of the keys to the game besides that?
Keys to the game for the Rams is to take care of the ball because Air Force will limit the turnovers with their run game. And then also on offense or on defense to stop the run of the Falcons, who are averaging 334 yards a game on the ground.
Yeah, so it's going to be a big game. It's a rivalry game. It's going to be in Fort Collins for a chance at the Ram Falcon Trophy. This is a really important game for us. We're technically on the road to winning the Mountain West Championship. It's a conference game. Yep. We have a couple of pretty hard games coming up after this, so it's going to be very important for us to win. So Tyler, what's your prediction for this game?
My prediction is going to be 35-24 Rams, and like I said, their defense is going to definitely have to step up and make some stops, and if they're able to stop the run game, I think we're going to come out on top.
Yeah, I think so too. So I was actually looking at the news today, and they were saying that we're expected to go to the Las Vegas Bowl, and we could potentially be facing the Buffs again. What do you think about that, Tyler?
I think it'd be pretty cool to play the Buffs again and hopefully avenge that loss that we had down in the showdown. You know, it was a tough one. The refs weren't giving us any calls, so.
Well, as long as we don't have Pac-12 refs, I think we should be okay. All right, folks, so that's all I have for you for weather today, but coming up next, Tyler's going to have the latest in Ram sports. Have a good night.
Listen, I realize that I'm not perfect, but it all really started to change because you judge me for having a problem. No one is going to know that I need help. I need help. I know that no one is going to judge me for having a problem. I realize that I'm not perfect, but it all really started to change because you listen.
Well, Thomas, you've got prediabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have prediabetes. Big time.
Welcome back. I'm Tyler Patterson, here to catch you up on all the latest in Colorado State athletics. CSU football traveled to Albuquerque, New Mexico last Friday night to take on the New Mexico Lobos in a conference matchup, and the Rams clinched bowl eligibility with a 27-24 win. New Mexico scored the first touchdown of the contest, but CSU senior tight end Dalton Fackrell tied the game at 7-7 midway through the second quarter with his fourth touchdown in as many games. CSU wide receiver Olabisi Johnson caught his first touchdown of the season in the second quarter, extending the Rams' lead to 14-7. Izzy Matthews then scored a rushing touchdown with 17 seconds left in the first half, giving CSU a 21-10 halftime lead. The Lobos cut CSU's lead to 21-17 on their second possession of the third quarter, but a pair of Wyatt Bryan field goals from 40 and 51 yards in the fourth quarter gave the Rams a big enough cushion to secure the victory. The win Friday night marks the fifth consecutive season that the Rams have earned bowl eligibility, including all 3 seasons under Mike Bobo. The Rams have yet to win a bowl game during Bobo's tenure, but things are looking positive for CSU with 4 games left on the schedule. CSU quarterback Nick Stevens helped propel the Rams to their 4th straight Mountain West win with another solid passing performance. Stevens finished 17 of 33 for 231 yards and 2 touchdowns. Stevens has now gone 4 straight games without an interception. Junior Olabisi Johnson led the Rams in receiving with 5 catches for 77 yards and a touchdown, his first of the season. The nation's leading receiver Michael Gallup had his lowest receiving total of the season, posting just 6 catches for 58 yards in the contest. Although CSU was able to stay balanced on offense as running back Izzy Matthews reached the 100-yard mark for the first time this season, finishing with 116 yards and a touchdown on 21 carries. Dalen Dawkins also contributed a modest 71 rushing yards on 12 carries. CSU will return home this Saturday to take on the Air Force Falcons at 1 p.m., and that game will air nationally here on CBS. Women's volleyball added 2 more wins to their season total over the weekend, defeating New Mexico 3-2 on the road last Saturday night. The Rams were down 0-2 but rallied back to reverse sweep the Lobos in 5 sets. CSU was led by the redshirt freshman phenom Brianna Runnels, who recorded 20 kills, surpassing her previous high of 19. Jasmine Hanna also recorded 16 kills, while Sonia Cheesmich and Paulina Hogard-Jensen posted 12 and 11 kills, respectively. The second win for the Rams came against Wyoming Tuesday night in the traditional border war. CSU entered the match against Wyoming with a number 20 national ranking and a flawless Mountain West Conference record of 10-0. Amazingly, the Rams have only lost a total of 4 sets in conference action this season. Wyoming was able to steal the first set against CSU after trailing 19-22. The Cowgirls managed a 6-0 run in that first set, closing out the Rams 25-22 in the first. CSU quickly turned things around in the second set, building a 17-11 lead, not allowing Wyoming to come within 5 points. CSU went on to win the third and fourth sets 25-21 and 25-16, closing out the Cowgirls 3-1 in the match. The win last night marks CSU's 11th straight victory, all against conference opponents. Tom Hilbert seemed content with his team's poise in the match as the Rams kept calm after losing the first set, saying, quote, "We had some new things that happened tonight that were kind of fun. Our team competed well with the exception of the 6-point run in the first set, but I think that might have fueled our team a little bit for the rest of the match. Every time Wyoming made a charge, we had an answer." CSU is hosting conference opponent Air Force tonight. The current score is CSU 14-8 in the first set. Women's soccer traveled to San Diego State on Sunday and landed themselves a tough 3-0 loss in their final road game of the season. The Rams finished the game with 7 shots, 4 of which were on goal. Unfortunately, nothing dropped for CSU, and their record now moves to 4-9-5 overall. Coach Bill Hempen spoke to the team's 3-0 loss, saying, quote, "We fought and gave up 3 goals, 3 good goals. In some cases, they could have been preventable. They weren't goalkeeper error. Certainly, we're a good enough team, but we were chasing the game and weren't able to hold on to the ball much. When we did have it, we tried to make the killer pass, but just couldn't, and not for a lack of effort. It just wasn't to be today." CSU will host Wyoming tomorrow at 1 p.m. on the new CSU women's soccer field. This is the last match of the 2017 season, so make sure you get out there and show your support. So a political debate is currently going on tonight, and we are going to go live to Nicole Parra right now.
Hi guys, I'm here at the CSU Student Debate in the North Ballroom with Andrew Walters, the president of Young Americans for Liberty. So Andrew, tell me about the event today.
Yeah, thanks for being here, Nicole, and we're just very excited to have close to 100 students who are listening to different voices talk about their views on social events, economics, war, and having a reasonable discussion on how to address these things. And we've had great out and lots of different organizations. So it's been really an event where we get together and network and see what these really are behind the scenes campaigns, elections that are candidates and not.
Great. As you can see, the turnout is pretty good. This event hosts a majority of the community, and they hope to have future dates. This is the first one of the year, do it yearly. CTV News.
Thanks, Nicole, for that quick political update. That's all the sports I have for tonight. To stay up to date on Rams sports, follow CSU Collegian and CTV 11 on Twitter. Stay tuned to CTV because Ryan is up next with entertainment.
So, same time next week?
Well, of course. Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. For free tips to help you save, go to Feed the Pig.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. You're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Yeah, I saw that coming. That will throw you off track. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
What's up, Rams? My name's Ryan, Crist, and we're here on another fantastic Thursday bringing you all the latest and greatest in entertainment news. So let's get started with some great movie news. Dora is going exploring on the silver screen. That's right, a new live-action film is in the works. This film is going to be showcasing a teenage Dora and her adventures to a big city where her and her cousin Diego go exploring. This movie doesn't have a release date yet, and as of right now, Michael Bay is the current producer. Now, of course, this movie is way out of my target audience. I mean, I'm not even close to being who they're targeting. But one must wonder two things. One, why? And two, why? I don't even want to call this thing a movie because it's literally not. It's a pile of trash that they lit on fire, slapped Michael Bay's name onto it, and are trying to pretend it's a movie when it's literally a flaming pile of trash. Again, it's a kid's movie. It's not for my demographic, but that begs the question, which demographic is it targeting? It's about Dora, the angsty teen, trying to teach us Spanish while taking on the big city. Sometimes I just wonder if they run out of ideas for a movie and default to out-of-date TV shows. And then I wonder, where are Dora's parents? Like, who are letting a teenager run around a city alone? I just don't get it. Amazon, the online giant for retail, has a brand new business plan that's very ambitious. This plan is called Amazon Key, a new lock and camera system that allows package delivery men to enter your home and place their package inside and then leave. You know, while this might sound like a good idea, I'm not sure if I'm comfortable letting this guy in my home. I mean, look at that face. I don't even trust him to drop it on my...
Turning Point is a nonprofit organization in Fort Collins, and we serve all of northern Colorado. that does mental health and substance abuse treatment primarily for adolescents, but we have kids as young as 3 and we serve some adults as well.
This event has been going on for a few years now, and many people of Fort Collins love coming every year.
Oh, jeez. Get it together, Morty. So we decided to do something because last year we did Dumb and Dumber, and it really popped, and we wanted to do something again that popped, so Rick and Morty.
A lot of color and a lot of inside jokes. So.
Yeah.
I've been doing this for like 4 years now. I think it's just, I love the costumes, I love the creativity that people like put in. I mean, every year there's always people that just really go all out and have these fantastic horror costumes. I love it.
That was spooky. If you didn't catch this year's Zombie Fest, don't worry, it'll be back next year. In some other local Fort Collins Halloween news, the UCA is helping you get into the spooky mood. On Tuesday next week, the UCA will be having their Halloween Organ Extravaganza. This extravaganza will feature classical and not so classical music. This event will also feature spooky sounds and a spooky light show. This show will have 3 showings, one from 7 to 8:30, 9 to 10:30, and 11 to 12:30. There's also no charge for students. If this organ extravaganza and laser light show doesn't spook the crap out of me, I'm going to be very disappointed. If you're a regular viewer of CT, then you know my girl, Kiara, gave you some great ideas for last-minute Halloween costumes. But I'm sure there are some of you out there who still don't know what you want to be. So don't worry, because I have 5 simple and easy costumes you can make just in time for Halloween. Starting off is Wednesday Addams. All you need for this easy costume is an entirely black outfit, pigtails, and to keep a constant look of sadness and misery. And hey, who knows, depending on which party you go to, that could be pretty easy. Another tip to looking miserable is to think about all your student loans that you're slowly crushing and preventing you from going to the grocery store, even though all you have left in your fridge is tomatoes and curled milk. But I digress. Next, we have Steve Jobs. All you'll need for this costume is a black turtleneck tucked into your blue jeans and circled glasses. Extra points if you stare off into space and put your hand on your chin, so when people ask you what you're thinking about, you can tell them you're envisioning how to make Apple products, even more expensive. Neither of those floating your boat? Another idea is Waldo or Wenda. All you'll need for this costume is a red and white striped shirt, glasses, and a red knit cap. This costume gives you a great excuse to be that drunk friend that you spent all night looking for. It's better than being that drunk friend that pees in the sink. Don't want to be drunk Waldo? Well, the easiest costume to make, of course, is a spooky ghost. All you'll need for this one is a white bed sheet with eye holes so you can see, and to make spooky ghost noise. If you cannot articulate your oohs and boos well enough, then don't even try to attempt this costume. Like, don't even bring shame to the ghost community. Lastly is another fairly easy costume, which is a mime. All you need for this is some type of white face paint, a black and white outfit, and to keep quiet for the entire night. Who knows, maybe some of your friends will thank you for that. Well, Rams, that's all the time I have for you tonight. Make sure to stay tuned for Monday Night Sports Show and have a fun and safe Halloween weekend.